Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be She Told Me She Loved Me, Then She Was Gone. I've got an email from a guy who I assume he's probably new to my work, but he met a woman a couple months ago. He had recently been divorced. She apparently had been divorced. Actually, she had been divorced, but she, like right before they met, she had broken up with some guy who sounds like he was a pretty toxic dude. Things are great, hot and heavy, moved really fast. He got caught up in La La Land and the emotions and the whole. This is like something you see in the movies. And after she literally, the last night they were together, she told him that she loved him. And then, like, the next few days, she basically just disappeared, and the ex was back in the picture, and she tried to friend zone him. So this email is another cautionary tale about how it is so important to keep your wits about you and pay attention to what women do, not what they say, especially if you just got involved with somebody that literally just ended a relationship. Because what ends up happening in a lot of these situations is they go, an insecure woman is not going to like being single. And typically they tend to have a few orbiters in the background when things don't look like they're going to go well with their, or it's not going to work out with their primary relationship. And then as soon as the primary relationship ends, they're out hanging out with the male orbiters. And so they basically take one form of intimacy with the ex and then replace it with somebody new. And that's pretty much what you see with this particular guy. Obviously, he was bamboozled. He had no idea about this stuff. And this is the kind of thing that typically leads dudes to find out about my work and leads them to 3% Man. And then they go down the rabbit hole and eventually end up Quotes, Ruminations, and Contemplations, Volume 2, which is out now everywhere. Your support's appreciated. And also, I would highly encourage you guys to go, because I had to change a little bit of this email at the beginning because there were too many naughty words, because you're not allowed to curse. You're not supposed to curse first few minutes of the YouTube video, or otherwise you get demonetized. So go to my Rumble video page, Coach Corey Wayne, at Coach Corey Wayne, and follow me there. Because over the next year or so, I'm going to be transitioning more of my content over to other platforms, as well as members, paid members only stuff. Just because it's, man, when I look back at March of 2020 was a really interesting time, because I saw an 80% decrease in my new subscribers that I was getting. And I thought at the time, I was like, oh, it must be just the lockdowns. It makes sense. But it stayed that way. And I also saw 1 million views per month less. So it was just with my video views per month. So it was obvious some kind of algorithm change happened. You can call it shadow banning, whatever you want, but that's just the nature of the world we live in. The leftists pretty much run everything. And if they don't like your opinions or the way you say things, you just get de-boosted. So if you want to see how quickly that happens, just go to my TikTok. You can go back to, I think it was somewhere around February of this year, February of 2022. I had a video hit like almost 150,000 views in a couple of days. And then my account just got whacked after a few weeks of that. And then now when I publish a video, it barely gets 50 views in the first day. So it's pretty obvious what the shadow banning looks like, but hey, that's the way it is. So let's go through this guy's email. He says, "Hi, Corey. This one is a real head case." That's not what he actually said, but can't say any naughty words. "I met this girl and we hit it off immediately. And the first time we met, I arranged a date. She reached out every time after. Admittedly, we moved far too fast. The blinkers were on." Maybe he should have said blinders. I don't know, maybe he's from the UK. Maybe they say blinkers instead of blinders. "And I fell for her quick. We had both come out of previous marriages, and she had recently stopped seeing a guy. So that's the recent breakup. Women who come from a good family aren't going to go from dude to dude. They want a real connection. And real connections just don't happen very often. There's plenty of people that are attractive that you could sleep with, But somebody who you deeply connect on a soul level and you actually like listening to them and they like listening to you and it's easy and effortless to be with them, it almost never happens. You know, how often do you meet a new best friend? It just, good people that are good to you, good for your soul don't come along very often. One more thing is that she has a very young daughter from her previous marriage. For 2 months, we were pretty much inseparable. It was a very intense physical relationship with a lot of sex. She would continually tell me how deep her feelings were and how she had never found such a connection with someone so fast. She told everyone about us, including family. I thought this was too quick. It was, because she's going from one intimacy with one dude, the ex, to you. And when you do that, you don't really take any time to heal or to get over it. She also told me I was the only guy to ever make her orgasm from penetration. She confirmed this by showing me a message she posted to her closest group of friends. Oh, well, you're a stud, I guess, apparently. You're a legend. Long story short, right after that, long story short. Well, apparently it wasn't too short because she was very satisfied. One evening, we had the best sex ever. She then spent hours telling me how she wants to be with me and has started picturing me in her future. Sounds good, right? What do women do? Doesn't matter so much what they say. But that sounds good. And a man who's inclined to believe that, who's gotten dopey and is in La La Land and has seen one too many movies, goes and coos like a dove. She did explain how she was concerned about how it would react to the mum version of her. Yeah, this guy must definitely be from the UK. When she was telling me all of her feelings, she looked as if she were going to cry with happiness. Crocodile tears, apparently. She invited me to stay at hers the whole following week. Ooh. Anyway, the next day she goes cold. She must really be satisfied. 2 days later, she reached out to say how terrible she's been and that because her daughter was going away, she tends to disassociate. So, in other words, she's got some problems. I'm sure there's plenty of stuff about attachment, all that stuff, attachment theory, whatever you call it, if you want to read about that. But the reality is, what do her actions communicate? She's a little messed up. Then she went cold again. Another 2 days later, she reaches out and sends me an essay text message at midnight saying how she's so worried and overwhelmed by her feelings and made mistakes in the past by moving too quickly. This is where she's now pumping the brakes and backing up. The reality, this all sounds legit, right? You go, oh, okay, yeah, sounds legit. What really happened is you don't know it yet, but the ex-boyfriend came back in the picture. But this is the rationalization for, remember, people make their decisions based on their emotions. Obviously, she's still in love with the ex. And they use logic and reason to justify their decisions. And that's what she's doing here. She's using logic and reason to justify her behavior. When in reality, is the ex came back in the picture. We arranged a phone call where she apologized over and over for the distancing. And she asked me to come over later that week. She set the time and day. Oh. She then sent me another essay text message the next day saying she knows why she has distanced herself, and it's because the guy she used to see phoned her, and she realized she still has some feelings. Oh, what a coinkydink. This is what happens. You get involved with somebody who just had a breakup. They're going to be all over the ice. I learned this the hard way when I was younger. And it's not fun being on the receiving end of this. Because you're like, this guy, probably first time anything like this ever happened, he's like, wow, this is fate. We're meant to be. This is amazing. I've never felt this way. I've never had a girl feel this way about me. And then, oh, I still got feelings for my ex. Shucks. She said this guy is completely incompatible. He's unhealthy. He smokes like a chimney, is selfish, and needs mothering. She's going to fix him. And she would never introduce her daughter to him. Yep. On top of this, again, there's no logic in this choice. It's just strictly emotions. On top of this, he's moving to another country. The only reason she has a bond with him is because he is the best friend of her ex-partner who died in a tragic accident. Oh, so she started hooking up with her former boyfriend's best friend. So obviously he was helping her with her grief therapy when her boyfriend died. And he slid right in there. Her decision now is to step away from dating altogether. You know, sounds legit. God, I'm going to have to take a step back from dating altogether. I got to work on myself. What she's really saying is, I need to step away from dating you altogether because I want to start I want to start fucking my ex again. Now we're later in the video, I can say some naughty words. That's what we're allowed, apparently. But that may change. And maybe, way down the line, if we come across each other, maybe we can hit it off again. Oh, wow, that'd be swell. I'll just wait around for that. I love this next one. She did ask to be friends. Oh, whoa, that's so nice of her. She's such what a humanitarian. She's really caring. To which I made clear this was not an option because she belongs to the streets. I don't have my mug. Sorry. I wasn't prepared for that. A few days later, my friend spots her on a dating app with an updated profile. Hey, she had to take a step away from dating altogether. Just dating him. See how that works? What do I do now? Block her number? I mean, this is not somebody you're going to have a healthy relationship with. This is also not somebody that's honest. She's got an ex in the background. She's lied to you. Said that she needed to take a step back from dating altogether. So what happened was this, more than likely, because this guy's new to my work, he thought she felt the same way. Maybe she did at first. But if you look at her actions, he probably got all dopey and emotional. And she went from having high interest to low interest. And then when she said, I love you, that was a mercy I love you. Like a mercy fuck, if you will. Best sex ever. She left him with a smile on his face, at least, apparently. Is she very confused or did she lie to me? I'd say... you got A. What is the correct answer, class? A, she's confused. B, she lied to him. Or C, all of the above. I'm going to go with C. It's been no contact for 2 weeks. The reality is, you got a fuck buddy on your hands. You never raw dog a girl like this. Bad way to go. Personally, if you're looking for a relationship with somebody that's going to be healthy and monogamous, it's not with this girl. Based on her behavior, hey, you had a nice fling for 2 months. But you got dopey and you got some blind spots, and that's what. The good news is you're now come across 3% man. So we can correct your behavior, so no more ratchet girls like this. But the reality is, it's like you're obviously looking for romance in a relationship, and she's a liar, and she's obviously messed up. And it's not your job to fix or save her. Remember, she's trying to save her ex-boyfriend who smokes like a chimney and she would never introduce to her daughter. So she's got lots of problems. And you don't want all of her lots of problems to become your problems because life is tough enough. We all have enough difficult things on our plate without getting involved with a Fruit Loop or taking somebody like this back. But if you're a glutton for punishment, because I know a lot of guys are, because the thirst is real, then let her do 100% of the calling, texting, pursuing. Don't go to her. Don't meet her out. Don't pick her up. Don't take her on dates. Don't spend any money. If she wants to see you, invite her over to make dinner together in the evening. Hang out, have fun, hook up. If she says, how come you never take me out? We never do anything. How come you never come over? Just say, hey, well, you just had a divorce. You're still talking to your ex and you're on a dating app. So... you're obviously confused, and I don't want to lead you on. I don't want you to think I'm just not interested in getting serious. I've seen enough to know that you're a great girl. We can be friends with benefits, and I don't want anything more with you. Let's just do that. obviously you want to. I'm just kind of being a smartass here. You want to say it in a more tactful way, but the reality is this is not somebody you're going to take home to meet your family. This is just a girl who you're enjoy the sex until you find a woman who has integrity. But if it were me, I would have been like, hey, thanks for the pussy. I'm out of here. Goodbye. Thanks, but no thanks. Denied. That's what I would do if I were you. So if you got a question or a challenge and you'd like to get my help, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book a coaching session with yours truly. Remember to go to my Rumble page at Coach Corey Wayne and start following me there. Make sure you also go to understandingrelationships.com, subscribe to the email newsletter, because again, I'm going to start over the next year, I'm going to start transitioning away from putting so much content on platforms where it's not appreciated. And I can have the content on my own platform for my members only, for people that are my most raving fans. But it's the way it is. Gotta think of yourself, because obviously the tech companies sure are. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.